This summer, Europe is facing yet another historic heat wave, with temperatures soaring past 40 degrees Celsius across Spain, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. This sudden surge in temperature has triggered an unprecedented rush to buy air conditioners in a region where home cooling was once a rarity. As citizens scramble for relief, portable and split-system air conditioners made in China have become the most sought-after products, with many popular models completely selling out. This intense climate crisis has brought a striking economic reality into sharp focus. The vast majority of the world's cooling technology originates from just one country. Recent data from international industry groups and the China Household Electrical Appliances Association reveals that China now manufactures approximately 80% of the world's residential air conditioners and produces about 90% of all air conditioner compressors. Statistically, out of every 10 air conditioners sold worldwide, roughly 8 are built in Chinese factories. China also reigns as the world's largest exporter of cooling units, maintaining the top global spot for export value over many years. In recent trade cycles, China's air conditioner exports reached an astounding $27.2 billion, capturing nearly 40% of the entire global export market. This means that regardless of the brand name stamped on the chassis, the physical product most likely began its life on a Chinese assembly line. When looking at global sales volume, Chinese brands firmly occupy the upper echelons of the market. Industry giants such as Midea, Greyire, Haier, Hisense, and Agio have become dominant international forces, with Midea and Greyire consistently leading global sales charts. Beyond these domestic brands, a vast number of legacy international labels from Japan, South Korea, Europe, and the United States also rely heavily on Chinese manufacturing, outsourcing either their complete product assembly or critical internal components to Chinese facilities. Several structural pillars explain how China achieved this absolute global dominance. The first major advantage is the possession of the world's most complete industrial supply chain. Building a single air conditioner requires an intricate mix of compressors, heat exchangers, copper tubing, aluminum foil, motors, printed circuit boards, plastic injection moldings, and electronic components. In China, these diverse suppliers are concentrated into tight industrial clusters within provinces like Guangdong, Zhejiang, and Anhui. Because the entire supply chain operates within a radius of just a few dozen kilometers, domestic manufacturers enjoy dramatically reduced transportation costs and minimal inventory overhead. The second pillar is massive scale, which drives manufacturing costs down to unrivaled levels. China produces hundreds of millions of home appliances annually. This staggering volume allows companies to implement advanced automation, negotiate bulk raw material purchases, and drastically lower the manufacturing cost per unit. Consequently, a Chinese-made air conditioner with the exact same performance specifications as a Western brand is often 20 to 50% less expensive. Furthermore, technological capability is no longer a weak point for Chinese manufacturers. The outdated stereotype that Chinese air conditioners are merely cheap but technologically inferior is completely false. Today, mainstream Chinese brands lead the market by integrating all DC inverter technology, top-tier energy efficiency ratings, artificial intelligence controls, self-cleaning systems, ultra-quiet designs, and advanced heat pump heating capabilities. Many models even outperform well-known international brands in energy efficiency, and Chinese companies now consistently top the charts for annual global air conditioning patent applications. Crucially, China controls the production of core components. The compressor is the true heart of any air conditioner, a high-tech segment that Japanese enterprises dominated for decades. Today, Chinese firms not only build the final retail units, but also manufacture these vital core components at scale. This capability is backed by China's foundational industrial strength as the world's largest processor of copper and aluminum, the top producer of rare earth elements, and the primary manufacturing hub for appliance motors. These baseline industrial advantages guarantee immense competitiveness in both pricing and raw supply stability. The shifting climate in Europe is unlocking massive new opportunities for these manufacturing hubs. Historically, air conditioning adoption in European households lagged far behind rates seen in the United States and Asia. While countries like Spain and Italy maintained higher adoption rates, nations like France, Germany, and the United Kingdom saw very little demand. However, as global warming makes extreme summer heat waves a regular occurrence, European buying habits are shifting permanently. Online air conditioner sales have skyrocketed in Germany. Imports are rising fast in France and Spain, and Chinese portable units are facing widespread stock shortages. Because many European architectural styles and local regulations make it difficult to install traditional outdoor split systems, Chinese companies successfully adapted by introducing portable units and mobile split systems, perfectly captured the local market, and triggered a massive sales boom. Rather than just selling finished appliances, China is now exporting its entire industrial ecosystem. Chinese brands are rapidly establishing manufacturing bases across Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Latin America, and parts of Europe. Yet even as these overseas factories open, they continue to source their critical high-tech core components directly from China. Therefore, the true global export is not just the physical air conditioner, but the comprehensive manufacturing architecture behind it. Another definitive advantage lies in sheer logistical speed. While international competitors are still scheduling production runs, Chinese products have already arrived at the customer's doorstep. Air conditioning sales are highly seasonal, dictated by a narrow window of just a few months. When a sudden heat wave strikes, consumers do not plan 6 months in advance. They want a cooling system installed within days. Under these conditions, rapid delivery becomes far more critical than price, playing directly into China's greatest manufacturing strength. This advantage begins with astonishing production velocities. China's highly automated factories can rapidly scale up operations during peak seasons, boosting daily outputs to tens of thousands of units almost instantly. The entire process from receiving an order and sourcing parts to completing assembly takes only a matter of days. Because component suppliers operate in the same localized clusters, factories do not face the weeks of delays associated with cross-border component procurement that stymie manufacturers in other countries. This manufacturing speed is further amplified by a world-class logistics infrastructure. China operates the world's largest network of shipping ports, with hubs in Shanghai, Ningbo, Shenzhen, and Chengdu, dispatching massive container ships daily. For urgent European orders, manufacturers can bypass traditional ocean freight by utilizing the rapidly expanding China-Europe Railway Express. This rail network delivers cargo to major European logistics hubs in just 15 to 20 days, cutting traditional maritime transit times in half at a fraction of the cost of air freight. Whenever a sudden heat wave hits Europe, this rail link acts as an emergency pipeline for rapid inventory replenishment, offering an even greater logistical advantage for markets in Central Asia, Russia, and Eastern Europe. Ultimately, what Chinese manufacturing truly sells to the world is reliable supply capacity. International retailers care less about a marginal price difference per unit and far more about avoiding empty shelves during a peak demand crisis. Chinese enterprises deliver an unmatched package of rapid order processing, accelerated production, stable component access, high-capacity port and rail infrastructure, and a mature global logistics network. As Europe looks to cool down during these intense summers, it is Chinese manufacturing that is stepping in to provide relief. By contributing 80% of household production and 40% of global trade value through a resilient, high-speed delivery network, China has proven that its true export is an elite ability to respond to global demand in real time. This highly efficient industrial blueprint is no longer limited to air conditioning. as China successfully replicates this exact manufacturing model across the global solar energy, electric vehicle, and energy storage industries.